ज्ञातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मोगं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome to our Bhakti Vaibhav
Hare Krishna.
study. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our discussion on. We'll just see the overview. So we are in chapter 24. 24th we have to start. We complete 23 also. So beautiful chapters. All this Pratamara section, his prayers and his conduct, his ruling, and his reception, and how to take care of guests, how to express our gratitude, and his qualities, leadership qualities are explained. And in 23rd, basically we have seen how these austerities in the name, but it's only devotion. Internal devotion is only expressed as external austerities. That's how it manifests everywhere. Internal devotion manifests as external tapasya, Swamis, all the acharyas. So they have internal great devotion to Lord. That's the actual renunciation. That is actual renunciation is that they because they are tasting something higher, so all other things appear to be very normal, very, very insignificant. So that's how they can perform all kinds of austerities at different levels. So Prithu Maharaj, austerities we discussed. Mainly his eagerness to meet the Lord is very much glorified. So that was the main cause of his austerities. Intense, extreme austerities. And then we discussed, especially yesterday, about Archi, Mother Archi. It was her devotion. And the appreciation of Devatas or Devyas. All the Devis from the upper planet, they are glorifying, appreciating, even extolling the birth in the Bharatavarsha. So they are on the upper planetary systems. They have higher facilities, resources in the bodies, but still they are appreciating the planet, the birth in the Bharatakanda, in the human birth, and the place and the opportunity. So they are considering this human birth itself is very glorious. So those who use this opportunity and go back to Godhead, they are glorious. And but those who don't use or misuse, they are killers of the soul. Vanchitaha, Atmadrik. So these are all some things from how to appreciate our fortunate position that we are in. So that was discussed yesterday, and then Falashruti. Everyone, the Falashruti, Ihaloka and Paraloka. What happens just by hearing of the devotees? Uh, what we can achieve? Hearing not only about hearing about the Supreme Lord, what to speak of Supreme Lord, even his devotees, glorification of his devotees itself is sufficient to go back home, back to Godhead. So in that sense also we can see how it's so glorious to hear about Prithu Maharaj, and we can anyone, not only we, but anyone can achieve or reach the supreme planet, Vaikuntha planets, and also all prosperous things in this world. That's what mentioned here in this Falashruti. So we'll continue to do our 24th chapter. Today is also Shivratri for outsiders. Tomorrow we are celebrating in Vaishnav calendar. But the whole Rudra Gita comes in 24th. Very auspicious day and very auspicious chapter for all of us. Rudra Gita, famous. So in this Rudra Gita, where the lineage is described in this chapter, genealogical line of Prithu Maharaj. After Prithu Maharaj, now Prithu Maharaj gave the body, Prithu and Archi. So this all happened in the forest. So what happened in the kingdom? What is happening in the kingdom? So that is described here. Our kingdom is going on. So everything goes on in this material world. Just like we are in ISKCON society and we are practicing. And if you focus on these aspects, we go on with our spiritual life. And material world also goes on. People are absorbed in their material enjoyments and material responsibilities, whatever. And the whole world also goes on. That's the amazing aspect of this material world. Everybody is absorbed in their own things. But absorption is okay. But that absorption, where it is leading, that is very important. So that's how here in kingdom, of course, these kings are also very, very pious and very devoted. So that is dharmic. So that lineage is described here. Genealogical line of Prithu Maharaj. So what happened to his sons and his sons and his sons' grandsons, etc., etc. Initially, they described the genealogy, and then point of where the Prachin Barhi and Prachetas came. Then the highlight is expressed. When the question came that when the point came that Prachetas met Lord Shiva, and immediately Vidura got doubt. How come Lord Shiva is very, very great personality, such an amazing personality? He doesn't even give darshan to those who are greatly renounced persons. How come their meeting happened? Where they met, how they met, what was the cause, and all. He has a question. So that's how, again, Maitreya describes little more elaborately where and why the Prachitas met Lord Shiva, what Lord Shiva spoke to them, what was the significance of it, and all it's described in this chapter, especially Prachitas meeting Lord Shiva and giving them encouragement, inspiration, and even Rudra is also saying that I want association of devotees. So here also we can see Lord Shiva's great, amazing aspects of his personality. How he's so kind, what is his meditation, what is his cherishment, what is longing for. You can see many aspects of Lord Shiva in this section. Even he's also longing to be associated, longing to be in the association of the devotees. Rarity of association is also he glorifies. So that's how then he speaks about Rudra Gita, his own meditation or the appreciation, glorification of the Lord. He gives this kind of a mantra to them. So you please try to chant this Rudra, chant these mantras, and then you will become perfect. So that is spoken in the last. This is also a little big chapter, but the chapter though big, it's but some verses are more of a description of the lake or the things around, etc. We'll try to see. But one of the main aspect how Prachetas took up the order of their father. That was one of the main thing. How the Prachetas took up the order of the Prachetas, Prajin Barihi, and how because of that they could meet Lord Shiva, and how they took up the instructions of Lord Shiva also with great attention and care. That is another point. And then the last about the glory of the Supreme Lord by Rudra Gita and then Falashruti. So this is how the chapter is flowing. As per Rishi Kumar.
Oh, this Prithvi Maharaj section was probably one of the longest section in Srimad Bhagavatam.
This is one of the, and Prahlad Maharaj is one of the sections, 7.1 to almost 10, almost like 10 chapters. And also one is the that Kapila is the biggest one. Kapila Muni
Devoti,
has
Karnamuni and Kapil Dev.
a very long section. So,
Devoti, Karnamuni and Kapil Dev.
yeah, Devoti, Karnamuni and Kapila. His birth, his teachings, and the teachings. Yeah, teachings itself goes long.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
thank you.
This is also one of the longest sections of Prithu Maharaj. It goes because his lineage goes also, not just Prithu Maharaj. His lineage also is continuing. Right? So this, these are all some aspects of this chapter. We'll read the summary. Summary from the Mayapur Institute. We have summary. Okay, someone can read summary.
The sage Maitreya narrates the lineage from Prithu Maharaj till the appearance of the Prachetas. Maharaj Prithu's eldest son, Vijitswa Antadhana, became emperor and gave his younger brothers different direction of the world to govern. Vijitswa begot three sons, previously fire gods, through his wife Shikhandini, and another son, Havirdhana, through his wife Nabhaswati. Retiring early from the executive duties, Vijitswa engaged himself in the performance of sacrifices and devotion service, thus attaining the Lord's abode. Havirdhana gave birth to six sons, of whom Barhishat, Prachin Bhari, was the most prominent and became a Prajapati. Through his wife Satadhruti, he begot the 10 Prachetas. Ordered by their family father to marry and beget children, the Prachetas entered the ocean for a 10,000-year performance of austerities. The Prachetas met Lord Shiva, who instructed them in the absolute truth.
Yeah. 1630.
Because of their pious nature, the Prachetas faithfully sought to execute the instructions of their father. While proceeding to the west, they came across a large Ichotware reservoir of water from which emerged Lord Shiva, accompanied by musicians glorifying him. Lord Shiva explained to the Prachetas how Krishna devotees are very dear to him, as well as qualifications required to occupy Brahma's post. He also explained how to approach the Lord and attain the spiritual planets, and the devotees of the Lord are as respectable as the Lord. Verses 31 to 52, Lord Shiva shared a special transcendental prayer that glorifies the Supreme Lord. He expressed his desire to see and be enlightened by the Lord's exceptionally beautiful permanent form, which he elaborately described. Lord Shiva explained the purifying effects of meditating on and serving the Lord through bhakti yoga. Though difficult to perform, devotional service alone can satisfy the Lord and give protection from the influence of invincible time. Lord Shiva begged for the association of purified devotees who are free from material bewilderment. Last section, verses 60 to 79. Lord Shiva briefly described the person Brahman, Lord's manifold energies. His universal form, the process of creation and invincible time factor which overwhelms the conditioned soul. Shiva exalted the position of devotion service and urged the Prachitas to be pure-hearted rulers and devotionally chant this prayer to the Lord's pleasure, for the Lord's pleasure. He explained the history of profound benefits of eventually singing this hymn.
The initial part is more of how the lineage is going on, and up to the point of Prachetas meeting Lord Shiva. And then it continues the meeting of Lord Shiva and Prachetas, and Shiva explaining the glorifying devotional service. And then also he gave the prayer, and then they performed the austerities. So one point also we need to at least try to contemplate on that how all there though there is a pure devotional service in the line of Dhruva Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, and so many others, but it always goes up and down. So it's also goes up and down in the sense others may not be pure devotees, or they may not be in the pure devotional line, may not be always be. So sometimes they say like father, like son. Yeah, it may sometimes not apply. Just like Vena and Anga son Vena. Anga was pure devotee, but Vena became very atrocious, very criminal kind of a personality. But from Vena came out Prithu Maharaj, and from Prithu, all these personalities, Vijitaswa, and further. The Prachin Barhi was more of a focused in karmakanda activities, performing all sacrifices, rituals, etc. That's what is mainly pointed out here. How Nardamani comes and delivers Parchin Barhi also. So there we will try to see that how he just caught up with karma. So Nardamani comes and delivers him by teaching about bhakti. So this aspect of bhakti, though, I mean, it's very, very amazing aspect of pure devotion service, but it may not be it may not be taken up by the descendants. Just like Advaita Acharya has sons, 6 sons, out of 3 became very asar. That's what mentioned. They became non-devotees in the sense they are not taking up they have not taken up the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They attracted to impersonalism and they swayed away from Lord Chaitanya's teachings. So it's not always guaranteed. I mean, we need to do our responsibilities as fathers or as responsible teachers, whatever. But it's not always the case. That basically depends on the person who is his own desires, his own attractions, etc., etc. It does also depend upon that. So that's what we can try to learn that how though Prithu Maharaj and Rama, they're all pure devotees, but Prachin Barhi, etc., they are not. They are on Karmakanda level. But like King like Vena are entirely opposite also. So we can try to see that it's all always individual. Though we can try to see that upbringing and this association can be a major influence on a devotees or a person, not devotees, on a person. But it's all finally up to his own desires and his own inclinations to take up that aspect. So, but but the Prachetas that took up the process of devotional service and they perfected with also association of the Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva also very much inspired by their dedication and determination to do austerities to please the Lord. That's how he gave on his association, and he also we can see his heart also in these sections. What was he meditating on? What is his cherished desire? So Lord's personality, we can learn many things. Okay, we'll see. I'll go ahead. Maitreya Vacha Vijitaashvo Adhirajasit Prutuputra Prutushravaha यवीव्योऽभ्यो ददात् काष्ठा भ्रातृभ्यो भ्रातृवत्सलः.
The great sage Maitreya continued. Vijitsava, the eldest son of Marakritu, who was a reputation like his father's, became emperor and gave his younger brothers different directions of the world to govern. For he was very affectionate towards his brother.
Hmm. So Vijita Ashwa. So this is called Vijita Ashwa. Ashwa means horse. Vijita means conquered. So Vijita Ashwa. So that's how the name came from that story of how Prithu Maharaj was engaged in sacrifice, and but the horse was taken away by Indra. But this eldest son was trying to bring that horse. So he was very successful in finding out Indra and catching the horse again and again, bringing. That's why his name became Vijita Ashwa. So that's why it's Vijita Ashwa. Younger brothers, different directions. So he divided. So he also. So Prithu Maharaj divided the whole kingdom and he gave the ruling to different sons. But the role of eldest son is spoken by Prabhupada. What is the role of eldest son? So after describing the life and character of Maharaj Prithu in in the previous chapter, the great sage Maitreya began to speak about the sons and grandsons in the genealogical line of the dynasty. Connection to previous chapter. Please read this one. Role of eldest son.
Role of eldest son. From time immemorial, the eldest son generally becomes king after the death of the previous king. When the Pandavas ruled the earth, Maharaj Yudhishthira, the eldest son of King Pandu, became emperor, and his younger brothers assisted him. Similarly, King Vijit Ashwa's younger brothers were appointed to govern the different directions of the world.
Hmm. So that's the role of elder person. Eldest son has a great responsibility of the family also. So continuing. Haryakshaya dishat prachim धूम्रकेशाय दक्षिणां प्रतीचीं वृक संज्ञाय तुर्यां द्रविणशे विभु.
Maharaj visits Ashwa offered the eastern part of the world to his brother Haryaksha, the southern part to Dhumariksha, and the western part to Arka, and the northern part to Dravina.
So eastern, southern, western, northern. But what Vijitasva did? So he was not very much interested like his father also. So that is the main point that after ruling for some time, he gave to his brothers. So then he also goes ahead to the forest. Later on it will be described. Antardhanagatim shakla labdhva antardhana samyitah apatyatrayam adatta shikandinyam susammatam.
Formerly, Maharaj Yudhishthira pleased the king of the heaven, Indra, and from him received the title Antardhana. His wife's name was Shikhandini, and by her he begot three good sons.
So here we can see how that the title came Antardhan is a different name. One more name came Antardhan. Vijitashva got another name Antardhan. So Prabhupada explains the story of why he got that Antardhan. Basically explains the story of Indra. So this Vijitashva is so sensitive personality. Amazing personality. Generally kings are very shrewd and very sharp. And especially to punish those who are miscreants, especially those who are wrongdoing, and they will be punishing. But Vijitashva is so sensitive. Uh, please read the second and third para.
Yes. Although Indra was stealing the horse from his father, Ashwa knew perfectly well that Indra was not an ordinary thief. Since Indra was a great and powerful demigod and son of the supreme personal Godhead, Ashwa purposefully excused him due to sentiment only, even though Indra was acting wrongly. Thus, Indra became very pleased with Ashwa at that time. Demigod have the great mystic power of being able to appear in disappearance according to the. And since Indra was very pleased with Vijishava, he bestows this mystic power upon him. Thus, Vijishava became known as Antardhana.
Hmm. So, though he was a king, but he was supposed to punish those who are wrongdoing. But at times, when the personalities are in a great position, so he's excusing him on the ground that he is servant of the Lord and he's an exalted position. And seeing that though Antardhana Vishidashva was running behind, if we compare in the previous chapters where that yajna is happening and how Indra coming in different dresses and stealing them and going, and how his son was Vishidashva only with a great anger and is chasing him, but he's not killing him or not attacking him. He was running behind just to catch that horse and bring back. That was his only main purpose. Though he was seeing that Indra only in a different disguise, different form, sannyasas, different sannyasas he is taking up. But still Vijitashva Vijitashva knew that this fellow is just changing different dresses, and he knew that it is Indra only and different forms. But still he was excusing him all the time. So Prabhupada gives the reason here that how the powerful Devata and servant of the Lord is just excusing him always, even though Indra was acting wrongly. So whether to do it or not, that's a different discussion itself. Whether to punish him, whether to give him mercy. There's always a tussle between for the leader, superior. When someone does something wrong, how much to punish, how much to give mercy, how much to be lenient, how much to be strict. It's always a very sensitive point where we see that in first canto, Krishna and Arjuna, and Krishna was on top and Arjuna is on one side, and Yudhishthira Maharaj and their wife Draupadi, Bhima on one side to kill that Ashwathama, and Arjuna was to take a decision what to do, and Krishna is telling, "Arey, you have to satisfy both." And Yudhishthira Maharaj and Draupadi is saying, "I cannot kill son of a Brahmana or our teacher." So it's all how to punish. He was doing something wrong, dangerously attacking and almost killing everyone. Already killed all his sons. So how much to punish, where to punish, or give mercy. So these are very sensitive point. So we should always take guidance, especially in these aspects. So, but the main point of both either punishment or giving lenience, mercy, it's always to reform the person. That should be the hitam. The person's reformation is the main goal, whether to punish or whether to leave. The final thing has to supposed to see that the person is changing his values. So, though the purpose of jail is to punish, and the means is to punish, but that is not the goal of the jail. The goal of the jail is to reform the person who is going to jail. But punishment is just a means. So, but that generally works. Danda, dandanam, but not always. So, but here we see some personalities like Jitashva. His his heart is like such a sensitive heart that though he was understanding that a horse is stolen by Indra, he knew that Indra was stealing always, again and again in different dresses, but purposefully also he excused him, seeing the connection of the Supreme Lord and as a higher post in the universe. So for that, Indra was pleased and he gave that benediction of Antardhan. He can disappear and appear anytime. So that's why he's also called Antardhan. Pavakah Pavamanascha Suchir Itya Agnaya Pura Vashishta Shapat Utpanna Punaryogagatim Gataha.
The three sons of Maharaj Antardhan were named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Suchi. Formerly, these three personalities were the demigods of fire, but due to the curse of great sage Vashishta, they became the sons of Maharaj Antardhan. As such, they were as powerful as the fire gods, and they attained the destination of mystic yoga power, being again situated as the demigods of fire.
Yes, Ramkrishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, regarding the previous verse, I had a little query. So, we see here
Sorry,
blatantly that, dharma and he is
your
not
voice.
doing. Are you able to hear, Prabhuji, now? Is it better?
Yeah, now is okay. Yeah, please speak.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, basically, we see that your Indra was on the wrong path, okay, and he was, stealing, which is basically adharma. So, generally, what happens is
We lost you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Okay, I think I will join once again. So basically, this section is more of a genealogical lineage, and the sons of Antardhan is described here. This, the Devatas, initially they were powerful demigods, fire gods. They took birth to Antardhan as a sons, and by the association of Antardhan, and again they attained their position. So the Vasishta's curse, because of the Vasishta's curse, they became sons, and then again by the association of here Antardhan, and by practicing little more pious activities, devotional life, and then again went back to their positions. That's what described here. How the curse, what the curse and all, I could not come across Vasishta, and that first time I tried, but I could not get. Yes, Ramkrishna Prabhu.
yes, sorry, I got disconnected.
Yeah.
So, my question is that we see that Indra was on the side of adharma, and yet we see that because his connection with the supreme lord is there, Vijitashva is bringing the horse back, but he's not maintaining any animosity or any anger or something like that. And then he gets Indra gets pleased with that and gives him a boon also. So like this is becoming a little difficult. Like person who is at fault, and at the same time, generally what happens is, why I'm asking, because in our dealings, sometimes we are always staying with Vaishnava devotees only, right? Sometimes some devotee may do some wrong thing, which is not against dharma. Is basically it's against dharma. Okay, so in that case, what approach we should have? Huh? That means if a devotee is doing something wrong, and then now after doing wrong, he still defends it. He doesn't admit it. If somebody is saying some lie, or something like that, or doing something by which it will cause harm to others, and after that he is not even accepting, and all of this. So the question is, how we should look at such a personality? And the connection with the Lord is there. That means he's a devotee, and but at the same time he is in a certain effect of modes. So how do one should look in such a case for us? And what are the parallels we can draw from Vijitashva and Indra dealings, and how to apply it in our life?
Very subtle points are mentioned in this the pastime, very, very subtle. So not always a very general answer. But what Vijitaswa's point of view is that he wanted the horse. And that's what main thing is. My father's yajna should not be stopped. That was his main goal. Whether to kill Indra or to harm Indra or whatever he is doing, he's not much bothered in that sense because he wanted to bring the horse and continue the yajna to do the good to society. What my father, as a son, it's my duty to protect my father, whatever he's doing, and execute the yajna so that everyone will be happy. So that was his main goal. And so for that, to achieve that goal, he needed the horse. Basically, Yajna needs the horse. So as long as he's trying to get the horse, he was okay because his goal is achieved, bringing the horse. Whether to punish him, whether to leave him, he's not much bothered at that time. So of course, further things we now understand that Indra pleased and he gave boon also. That he is not much bothered about all those things, but his yajna was going on. But of course, we know the past time how the priest itself then thereon took up the action. Arey, let us kill him. Arey, why is doing all this? So the priest in the yajna started the mantras. We will chant the mantras and we will bring the Indra to fire. We read all the past time and we know the situation ahead. And then we know Brahma came and Lord came and all other things. So from his point of view, he did his role of bringing the horse.
Horse,
So
okay. And what was Indra, please, Prabhuji, what was the reason for pleasure of Indra and why did he give him the boon?
no, he's not punished. Indra did not, Vijitashva did not punish or attack him all the while. No? Though he was changing the forms, Indra was changing different forms. No? But still, he knew Indra only stealing. And he did not punish him, or generally kings, they can fight, no? They can fight and they can kill also.
Correct.
Or kill in the sense they can punish, they can harm, they can put in jail or whatever. So, but he was not doing to him. That's what he was a little satisfied. Okay, he's leaving me all the time. That was a little kind of satisfaction. And then I gave that kind of boon to him. So, what we can learn that how when we see, definitely we should report immediately if we are not in charge to that person. And if we are seeing some discrepancies and which is causing a disturbance in society or which will definitely bring out a disturbance in society in later on, so we should definitely report and take action. Just like here, priest took up the action on Indra. So Tardana, Vishitashva did not took the action, but the priest could understand that he is doing too much and now it's going beyond. So they took up the action and they were trying to do something for the rectification. So we also, if we are responsible, then we should take up the action for the sake of society, to protect the society. So for the sake of a village, one person should be given as a sacrifice. For the sake of state, one village should be sacrificed, if at all if needed. For the state of country, one state also can be given as a sacrifice if needed. So like that, so here for the sake of the country, so they thought Indra should be killed because he's unnecessarily producing all kinds of different deviations. But Brahmaji came in between, and that's how the pastime went ahead. But in our case, so we're seeing the how situations will unnecessarily disturb the society. We should report. So these things I'm observing, and it can cause what are the different consequences further, and appropriate actions should be taken. Then that's how we need to report on top people. We can report our observations, our understandings of the consequences, etc. We should properly report. And if we have that kind of influence on the person, then we should immediately take the action because it's a society. Not just, of course, even if not for the society's disturbance. If he's harming himself also, we should take up the action if we are responsible, just like our children or our relatives or whoever, or our dependents, counselees, etc. If they are harming themselves by not following certain principles, we should definitely point out, rectify them, make them understand. So, but here Vijidashva, from my understanding, that he knew that our king Prithu was there, and he also knew what is happening. And priests are there, Brahmins are there, who are guiding everything. So he might have thought, okay, see, I know my role is this much, to bring the horse. So what to do with him, they will take care. I mean, that's my little extrapolation of the pastime. He might have thought like that. Let them take care about him. But my role is to bring the horse and continue the yajna to my father's service. So, but in our case, we should definitely take up the action as early as possible, depending on the degree that it can cause consequences. Well, like that, definitely we should take action. But what kind of action, to what degree? So that depends a lot. Samadhana, Vedanta, out of the four, how to take, what to take, when to take, how much to take. We also need to take some guidance, and we also should take our previous experiences, etc. It's all case to case, depends.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, thank you so much.
So, yeah. But we should take action. Reformation is the goal. Should have in the heart that though we are dealing with a very tough case, the case which disturbed everyone, or everything is disturbed, then tough action has to be taken. But in the heart, having a kind of a hitam, benefit for the person, not out of hate, out of great envy or hate or condemning, not kind of that kind of a heart of Vaishnava, but more of trying to see a positive change in that person, having good feelings toward the person, like that. Yeah. So very difficult, though I'm saying, but it's very tough job. But that is to be taken. Okay. Antardhano navaswatyam harida havirdhanam avindata yayindram ashvahartaram vidvanapi na jagnivan.
I think someone can read. I have read sufficient.
Yes, continue. Someone else can continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Please continue.
Maharaja Amrisha had another wife named
Antardhan. Amrish ne Antardhan.
Antardhana had another wife named Nabhaswati, and by her he was happy to beget another son, named his Harivardhan. Since Maharaja Antardhana was very liberal, he did not kill Indra while the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice.
So another lineage means another wife and son, Havirdhan. So the reason for not killing, and explain how he was so liberal, but the focus is until different now. Although Antardhana could understand the king Indra was stealing the horse of his father, he did not kill Indra, for he knew that if one who is very powerful sometimes commits an abominable act, it should be disregarded. Prabhupada takes here a different stand itself. So Prabhupada also writes purports according to the context. How Tejiyasam Nadoshaya, those who are powerful, there will be some mistakes sometimes by a powerful personality, leader personality. So when to keep it a secret, when to bring it out, it's a very, very, very sensitive issue. So here Prabhupada is endorsing that how, even though sometimes a powerful person commits sometimes a benevolent act, it should be disregarded because he was doing great thing to society. He was in great position, great responsibility. But that's one of the main aspect Prabhupada is bringing out. But my main point is because they are, if at all, those personalities are taking shelter of the Lord. They're fixed up in the bhakti, and these things will be washed away in just in due course of time. Please read.
Yes, Prabhuji. The devotee of the Lord never willingly commit any sinful act, but sometimes they commit something abominable due to their previous habits. Such acts should not be taken very seriously. However, because the devotee of the Lord are very powerful, whether they are on the heavenly planets or on this planet, if by chance they commit something abominable, it should not be taken into account but should be overlooked.
Mm. So, if one reads this purport and try to apply to every case, then there will be chaos in society. So, how much to apply, where to apply, how to understand, it's very sensitive case to case. Then, but definitely to save the society, Prabhupada mentions the context here, and we need to understand at different levels. Basically, should not be taken into account, but should be overlooked in the sense that from spiritual point of view, yes, everyone is a pure soul, connect. I mean, as part and parcel of Supreme Lord, and because of some previous tendencies, one may commit some mistake. So, but it should be forgiven in the sense that the forgiveness also includes some kind of punishment. It's not that one is left without any punishment, just like Ashwatthama example we have seen, how he was punished at the same time given opportunity also for life. So that kind of decisions is very, 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 very critical and very, it's not easy, very difficult to take such certain decisions on top. So, but Prabhupada's main point is because they are fixed up in the devotional service, they will be purified. So, in the due course of time, nobody is bothered about everything will be washed away in due course of time. They will also understand. They will also understand in due course of time, and when we see that little change in their behavior, and then we should really accept. Okay. Ragna. So, but the basic punishment or lenience, as I mentioned, is a reformation. And the basic punishment is given to show to others. If others try to do something like this, then they will also have to face this kind of punishment. So that is one of the main aspect in punishment. Kill the monkey and hang the Prabhupada once. I think in Vrindavan, when devotees are cooking, so many monkeys were coming and stealing the Prabhupada's ingredients, Prabhupada's cooking ingredients. They went and complained to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, this is all happening, all monkeys are coming and disturbing us. We are unable to cook for you. Prabhupada said, okay, let us kill one monkey and hang in the kitchen so that other monkeys will not come. They will be frightened. So that's how he was mentioning. So of course he was just joking. But still the principle is that how if one is punished, others will take lessons. So that's how generally in society also. If one is punished, then everyone becomes aware, "Arey, what will happen to me if I do something like this?" So in that light also, some decisions are taken and should be taken also for the sake of society. So, but here basically Antardhan was so soft that he was unable to punish Indra, and for that he got the boon Antardhan. Okay. Ragnam vrittim karadhana danda shulkadidarunam manyamano dirghasatra vyajena visasarjaha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Whenever Antardhana, the supreme royal power, had to exact taxes, punish his citizens, or fine them severely, he was not willing to do so. Consequently, he retired from the execution of such duties and engaged himself in the performance of different sacrifices.
Read
It is
first
clear
few
here
lines.
that the king sometimes had to perform duties which are not very desirable uh, just because he is the king. Similarly, Arjuna was not at all willing to do fight because fighting or killing one's own kinsmen and family members is not at all desirable. Nonetheless, the Kshatriyas had to perform such undesirable actions as a matter of duty.
Mm. So not my liking and liking or not liking. It's about duty. Just like a beautiful example of Arjuna. So the king
Mhm.
had to do. He has to take some actions against people who are doing something harm. Otherwise, rogues and thieves will become increasing in number in the society. So they have to take some action. But by nature, Antardhana was so soft. What to speak of punishing? Punishment in terms of finance also is unable to do. Punishment in the sense you have to exact taxes, take tax, and that also is unable to do. So they understood it's not my it's not my nature. He just gave up everything and left to forest and doing sacrifices, retired and does services. So that's both the king should have both aspects. As is Rasham Prabhu was sharing, the class that King Rajarshi he has both courage and considerate, bold and sensitive. Raja and Rishi, Rajas and Sattva. The passion and the Sattva both has to be there. So then he can rule properly. Then his kingdom will be more going in terms of dharma, following dharma, etc. If the king is not punishing and is very soft and is not taking actions at right time, then only miscreants will become more and more outrageous, and all criminal activities and many things will go wrong. He has to exercise the rule. That's the aspect. So basically, Antardana is very soft, and so he left everything and went to do many sacrifices. Tatrapi hamsam purusham paramatmanam atmadruk yajam tallokatamapa kushalena samadhina.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Although Maharaja Antardhana was engaged in performing sacrifices because he was a self realized soul, he very intelligently rendered a devotional service to the Lord, who eradicates all fears of his devotee. By thus worshipping the Supreme Lord, Maharaja Antardhana, wrapped in ecstasy, attained his planet very easily.
Mm. So he is, though, see here, one point we can learn, whoever we may be, whatever nature we have, so still we can perfect our life, go back to Godhead. Antardana is very soft in nature, is unable to do as a king. It doesn't mean that he is unfit for self-realization or God realization. So, but he perfected his life, gave the responsibility to other sons, and then he left the forest and absorbed in the Lord and attained his planet. So that's the one point here we can try to understand. Read.
Yes, since sacrifices are generally performed by fruitive active actors, it is especially mentioned here, Tatrapi, that although Maharaja Antardhana was extremely engaged in performing sacrifices, his real business was rendering devotional service by hearing and chanting.
So his main business was hearing and chanting. No, just like Prithu Maharaj, just like Dhruva Maharaj. Apparently, externally is doing something different, but it's a main business, real business is to bhakti. So he attained the Vaikuntha planets. So all okay, that's mentioned here. Havirdhana Dhavirdhani Vidura Suta Shat Sutan Bahishadam Gayam Shuklam Krishnam Satyam Jitavratam.
Hare Krishna. Havirdhana, the son of Maharaja Antardhana, had a wife named Havirdhani who gave birth to 6 sons named Bahishat
Barish. Gaya.
Gaya, Shukla, Krishna, Satya, and Jitavrata.
They are his sons. Barishat Suma Bhago Havirdhani Prajapatihi Kriya Kandeshu Nishnato Yogeshu Cha Kurudvaha.
Hare Krishna. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, Havirdhana's very powerful son named Bahirshath was very expert in performing various kinds of fruity sacrifices. And he was also expert in the practice of mystic yoga. By his great qualification, he became known as a Prajapati.
So, Bahirshat or Prachin Barhi, you will come to know. So he was one of the known as Prajapatis, who is supposed to expand the population. So his expertise, he was very expert in performing miracle sacrifices, fruity sacrifices basically. So that will be explained how he was so expert in that. Yasyedam deva yajanam anuyajnam vitanvataha prachinagrೈ kushair asi astrutam vasudhatalam.
Hare Krishna
Yes.
Prabhu, other
Just a quick question here. That it seems that the population of the world was very less that time because they had a big activity of populating the world.
Yeah, that time this is almost like Satyuga, what things are happening. So that's how it's mentioned like that. Prajapati, especially Parishat. That's what Prabhupada explains. There are many Prajapatis, Brahma, Daksha, Manu, and Parishat, the son of Haridhanva, became one of them. So here mentioned that in the beginning of creation, there were not many living entities, and consequently, very powerful living entities or demigods were appointed as Prajapatis in order to beget children and increase the population. So that was, it seems like that. That's why Prabhupada is mentioning that to increase population.
Thank you, Guru.
Yasyedam deva yajanam anuyajnam vitanvatah prachinagrahe. Yeah, we read that time. 1 second. Please read translation.
Prabhuji, next devotee can read, no? I read sufficient.
Yeah, someone can else read.
Yes, Prabhuji,
As
I can
usual.
read.
Yeah, please continue.
Maharaj Barhishat executed many sacrifices all over the world. He scattered kusha grasses and kept the tops of the grasses pointed eastwards.
Continue reading.
Okay. Yes. This means that as soon as he finished one yajna in one place, he began performing another yajna in the immediate vicinity. At the present moment, there is a similar need to perform some kirtan yajna all over the world.
Yeah, Prabhupada takes amazing application here. Kriya Kanda is Nishnata. He is very Nishna. He is very expert in Kriya Kanda. Dived very deeply into fruity activities of sacrifice. How he did, what is his expertise? So he one yajna is over, the next. He just used to go from one place to another, just sit there and do yajna. Everything will be ready by because he was a king, and then he used to order, "Hey, everything should be ready. I am coming, and I will do everything." So like that, generally, it's like in charge of a cooking or any services. Hey, everything should be ready. I am coming, and I will do final thing, final touch. The classes also, some speakers also. So everything will be ready, and speaker will come and speak and go to another program. Just like Prabhupada also. Everything will be ready. Program Prabhupada used to come and just give a program and go ahead for the another program. So like that, he was doing one yajna after another, after just keep on doing. So Prabhupada taking that amazing application. Similar need is to perform Sankirtan yajna all over the world. Please read. Amazing purport. Continue.
The Krishna Consciousness movement has started performing Sankirtan Yagya in different places, and it has been experienced that whenever Sankirtan Yagya is performed, many thousands of people gather and take part in it. Imperceptible auspiciousness is achieved in this connection should be achieved in this connection should be continued all over the world. Members of the consciousness movement should perform Sankirtan Yagya one after another, so much that all the people of the world will jokingly chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And this, they will derive the benefit of cleansing the heart. The holy name of the Lord, Hare Nama, is so powerful. The holy name of the Lord is so powerful that whether it is chanted jokingly or seriously, the effect of vibrating this transcendental sound will be equally distributed. It is also possible at the present moment to perform repeated yagyas as Maharaj Parishad performed, but it is within our means to perform Sankirtan Yagya, which does not cost anything. One can sit down anywhere, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Is overflowed with the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, the people of the world will be very, very happy.
I'm hearing your voice is little breaking while reading, but I don't know about others. Was it breaking for others also, or only for
Correction,
me?
maybe some connection problem is there, Prabhuji. So maybe other
Oh,
person can read. Upon is
yeah,
there? I think she can read.
yeah, other devotees can read from this onwards. Samudri, basically this purport, Prabhupada amazingly applies to the aspect of how we should take every opportunity one after another, one after another. Like we read the analogy, the waves of ocean, when they take over the tides of the ocean, when take over the waves of river, continuously planning for everything. So that's how we need to plan continuously everywhere Sankirtan Yajna in different forms. So that only can save ourselves and others. Samudrim devoktam upayeme shatadhrutim yam viksha charu sarvangim किशोरीं शुष्टु अलङ्कृतां परिक्रमान्तीं बुद्ध्वाहे चक्रमे अग्निशुकीमिव. Some other devotees can read.
Someone is reading, Prabhuji?
Yeah, if Shiromani Mataji, if it is okay, otherwise.
Hare Krishna, I will try. I'm
Yeah.
traveling. Maharaj,
Oh, I try.
Sat,
Otherwise, it's okay, Mataji. It's okay, otherwise.
if you can listen, I can read.
Yeah, please. Please. Yeah, please. Continue.
Maharaj Barhi Sat, henceforward known as a Prachin Barhi, was ordered by the supreme demigod Lord Brahma to marry the daughter of the ocean named Shatadruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful and she was very young. She was decorated with the proper garments, and when she came into the marriage arena and began circumambulating it, the fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired her company exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy
Shuki. Yeah, Shuki. So, yeah, here explanation of King Barhishat, Prachin Barhi, his life is coming now. His marriage is explained here a little bit about how he was marrying Shatadruti. And her qualities are explained here, how she was so beautiful, and even demigods were very much attracted to her beauty and her charm. So that is a little bit explained in these verses. I continue ahead. Vibhuda gandharva munisiddha naro ragaha vijitah suryaya dikshu varnayantyaiva nupurai.
While Shatadruti was thus being married, the denizens of Gandharvaloka, the great sages, and the denizens of Siddhaloka, the earthly planet, and Nagaloka, although highly exalted, were all captivated by the thinking of her ankle pair.
So, a little more description about a woman's beauty, and especially Shatadruti's, her beauty is explained. Everyone is attracted from all the planets. Prabhupada explains how. So one should be careful. Of course, that attraction is Krishna's beauty only. One spark of the splendor, as Krishna explains that everything beautiful and wondrous is spark of my splendor. Ekamshena, Krishna explains in Gita. Yadyad vibhuti mat sattam shrimad pujitameva va tat tat evamagachyam mama tejom sasambhava. But unfortunately, we'll be distracted by if we don't see the connection. So that Prabhupada explains, we should be careful. He gives example of Vishwamitra, etc., etc. Prachina barhisha putra shatadrutyam dasha bhavan tulya nama vrata sarve dharma snata prachetasaha.
King Prachin Barhi begot 10 children in the womb of Shatadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas.
Please read. Purport.
The word Dharma Snataha is significant for the 10 children were all merged in the practice of religion. In addition, they possessed all good qualities. One is supposed to be perfect when one is perfectly religious, perfect in the execution of one's vows to render devotional service, perfect in knowledge, perfect in good behavior, and so on. All the prachetas were on the same level of perfection.
So Prachin Barhi was very much performing dharma. The whole lineage is very much focused on dharma and devotion. But Prachin Barhi is more focused on dharmic activities, sacrifices, and taking care of citizens. And Prachit was also like father, like son. Here it befits. So everyone should be perfect. So they are perfect. So now the lineage continuing, and Prachin Barhi, we got 10 sons, Prachetas, in the womb of Shatadruti. And how it is going on further ahead. It's explained now. Pitradishta prajasarge tapase ranam tapase arnavam avishan dashavarsha sahasrani tapassarcham tapaspatim.
When all these prachetas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus they worshipped the master of all austerity, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Godhead, yes. So Pitradishta means they were ordered by Pitra. So why Prajasarge? To increase the population. So increase population, they immediately did not marry. So but they went to Tapasya. Tapasya Ranam Avishan. Aranavam. Gunaranava. Aranava is a ocean. Gunaranava. Ocean of good qualities. Vande Guru Shri Charanarabindam. Aptasya Kalyan Gunaranavasya. Aranavam. Tapasya Aranavam. Avishan. Dashavarsha Sahasrani. 10,000 years So why is tapasar chams तपस्पतिम? तपस्पति, तप का पति है कौन? भगवान, सुप्रीम लॉर्ड, यज्ञपति, ऑल पति, तपस्पति also. Tapasachams. So in order to perform tapasya. So it externally appears to be tapasya, just like we saw in the case of Prithu Maharaj also. It appears to be like tapasya, but their focus was only please the Supreme Lord. Worship the master of all austerity, Supreme Lord, Tapaspatim. So then Prabhupada explains about the place of tapasya, why they went to, where they went. So those, the Arnavam, ocean is explained. But generally, when you want to do tapasya, they are supposed to go to Himalayas, forests. But then why they went to, why means they went to ocean. That's what Prabhupada's comment. There is no why they went to ocean. So they took a different, but it is also secluded place. That's Prabhupada's main point. One point is that perform austerity in a secluded place. Maybe the time forests or whatever they felt, maybe they also will be disturbance. They thought maybe going underwater. But reason is not given, but they went to around was underwater. That is also tapasya. We see also Shabari Muni doing tapasya underwater. That is also tapasya. And then they performed for lot of long time. So please read this one. Why one has to perform tapasya? What is the goal of tapasya?
If one wants to perform austerity and penances in order to attain the supreme goal, one must attain the favor of the supreme personality of Godhead. If one achieve the favor of Supreme Lord, it is to be understood that he has finished all kinds of austerities and penances and has attained efficiency in their execution. On the other hand, if one does not attain the perfect stage of devotional service, all austerities and penances actually have no meaning. For without the Supreme Lord, no one can attain the highest results derived from performing them.
So same point Prabhupada is last time also we read. आराधितो यदि हरि तपसा तत किम, नाराधितो हरि यदि हरि तपसा तत किम, अंतर्बहिर यदि हरि तपसा तत किम. So that point Prabhupada is translating here. So one's goal is glorifying the Lord. The goal is not tapasya, goal is pleasing the Lord by doing tapasya. Bhoktaram, yajna tapasam, yajna tapasam, bhoktaram, both yajna and tapasa. Yajna and tapa, he is the bhokta, he should be satisfied with all kinds of activities. Sarvaloka Maheshwara. So even a person born in a family of Chandala, the lowest birth one can get in human society. He is glorious if he chants the holy name of the Lord. So our tapasya is to chant the holy name of the Lord, especially as devotees. Our great tapasya is to chant the holy name with attention of all the austerities to please the Lord. So all the results can be derived from the tapasya of Sankirtana Yajna. So that Prabhupada mentioning again here also, chanting. Prabhupada practically writing the whole Mahamantra many times in many purports. Keep on writing the name, holy name. How it will have same wonderful effect, chanting. So in this age of Kali, if a person does not take advantage of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, which is offered as a great concession to the fallen human beings of this age, it is to be understood that he is very much bewildered by the illusoriness of the Lord. So they took up the word of their father, Pitradishta Prajasargi. So the tapasa, the word Prabhupada is more and more explaining here, where they went, how did they took up tapasya after whom, what tapasya means, so and how it applies to us, especially chanting holy names. यदुक्तं पतिदृष्टेन गिरिशेन प्रसीदता तद्ध्यायन्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयताः.
When all the sons of Prachin Barhi left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who, out of great mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachin Barhi meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention.
This is one of the main points that where Vidura got doubt. Girishena prasidhata yaduktam patidrishtena. While they are going on the path, so the pati means on the way. So prasidhata, who is pleased? Girishena, by Lord Shiva. So tadhyayanto japantas pujantas samnata. So Lord Shiva met them on the way while going to performing austerities. And then instructions were taken very seriously. Dhyayanto, japantas, pujayanta at different levels. Kaya manasa vacha. Manasa, they are meditating on the instructions. Japantas means they are even chanting also. And pujayanta, worshipping, means executing with a samyata, with great control. So all these points very much Prabhupada comments upon how one should take actions on one should try to meditate and take serious actions on these instructions given by, of course, for them Lord Shiva gave, but for us as spiritual master, that's what Prabhupada explains here. Please read this one, Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva actually became the spiritual master of the 10 sons, and in turn his disciples took his words and seriously, that simply by meditating upon the instructions, dhyanantaha, they became perfect.
Yeah.
They became perfect.
Yeah,
this is great of success.
Continue.
After being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciple should unhesitantly think about the instructions or order of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be distracted by anything else. This is also verdict of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who, while explaining a very verse of Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasayatmika Buddhir Ekeha Kurunandana 2.41, points out that the order of the spiritual master is the life substance of the disciple. Should I continue?
Yes, continue. Perfect.
The disciple should not consider whether he is going back home, back to Godhead. His first business should be to execute the order of his spiritual master. Thus, a disciple should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master, and that is perfectional meditation. Not only should he meditate upon that order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it.
So who else is a great example than Prabhupada himself? It's an amazing example for us, who meditated, who spoke about it, Japayanta, Dhyayanta, who meditated upon, and not only just to meditate, as he's writing, not only should he meditate upon that order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. So worship Pujayanta means executing it. So that's what Prabhupada is pointing out here, that a disciple should not consider whether he's going back home, back to Godhead. So it's very powerful lines to meditate on and understand the relationship between disciple and a spiritual master. So this verse, when he read this purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti on this verse, Gita, was so inspired. It was whole changing a paradigm itself, how he took up the mission itself. Of course, by that time only, he was sannyasi, he was in the mission, was trying to publish. But when he read this, he was so inspired that he was doubled, tripled, 10 times, 100 times. He became determined to do something for his spiritual master. So all these wonderful lines we need to understand and try to japayanta, try to dhyanta. We should also dhyanta. So all these things that let us just to mention what Vishwanath Chakravarti wrote in the purport what was inspiring to him. Let us try to see some few lines on that aspect. What inspired Prabhupada so much? These lines changed the whole life. Not changed the whole life, but changed the entire direction. He took so seriously the mission. So he writes this 2.41 Vishwanath Chakravarti commentary that व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर्येकेह कुरुनन्दन बहुशाकाहि अनन्तश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम्. First line is commenting. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha. Iha means bhakti yoga. So iha means bhakti yoga. In the bhakti yoga, Vyavasayatmika buddhir eka eva. There is only one pointed determination, one pointed intelligence. So there are no any 100 intelligences. Only one intelligence. Vyavasayatmika, only focused intelligence. What is that intelligence? What is that focused intelligence? Yes, that is spoken now. Mama Srimad Guru Upadishtam. So my Guru, whatever Upadesh he gave to me, Srimad Guru Upadishtam, what Upadishtam gave? Bhagavad Kirtana Smarana Charana Paricharanadikam. Yeah, my Guru told me about how I should do Bhagavad Kirtana Smarana Charana Paricharanadikam. So Kirtana, glorifying the Lord, Smarana, remembering the Lord, Charana Paricharanadikam, then serving the lotus feet of the Lord, all these things. Okay, my Guru gave instructions on all these things. So what should I do? Etadeva mama sadhanam. This is only my sadhana. Etadeva mama sadhyam. This is only my goal. Etadeva mama jivatu. This is my life and soul. This is my life, very life itself. What? Guru Padishtam. What Guru Padishtam? Bhagavad Kirtana Smarana Charana Paricharana Adhikam. What else? Sadhana sadhya dashayos tektum ashakyam. I cannot give up either in sadhana stage or siddha stage. Sadhana sadhya dashayo. Even whatever situation, whatever condition I may be in, I may be neophyte, I may be Paramahamsa. In the both stages, I cannot give up. This is my Guru's instructions. What else? Etadeva mama karyam. This is only I desire. Etadeva mama karyam. This is only my activity. Internally, externally, I desire this only and I act on that desire by executing it. Karyam. This is only my duty. This is only my activity. Etadanyam name karyam. Apart from this, there is nothing else to do for me. Napi abhilashaniyam. Even I cannot desire anything else. I cannot and I should not desire anything else. Napi abhilashaniyam. Nor even desire also. And swapnepi, even in dreams also. What to speak of externally. Even in dreams also I should not desire anything apart from my spiritual master instructions and executing those instructions. So what else? Atra sukamastu dukkam vastu. There let it be happiness or distress in executing or in following the instructions of my spiritual master. Sometimes happiness may be there, sometimes distress may be there. I don't bother. Samsaro nashyatu va nashyatu. That's what Prabhupada commented here. Whether disciple is going back to Godhead or not is not bothered about. Samsaro nashyatu. Whether whole material world is destroyed or not destroyed. In the sense that his birth and death. Samsara also means that which goes round and round. Samsara is material world. Samsara means punarjanma. Basically taking birth and death. Nashyatu va nashyatu. Whether I am going back to God or not, I don't bother. So that's the determination of disciple. So tatra mama kapi nakshatir. There is no destruction or kshati means going down. So I am not degraded. Kshati means going down or degraded or not upgraded basically. Not kind of a thing. But I don't have any kind of a degradation by following those instructions. Nakshati. Tatra there by following. Iti evam nishayatmika buddhir. So like this nishayatmika buddhi, Vyavasayatmika buddhi, Nishyatmika buddhi. Determined intelligence. Where it is possible, Akaitava Bhaktaveva Sambhavet. Only in unalloyed devotion. Akaitava Bhakti, only it's possible. So this kind of Nishyatmika buddhi, Vyavasayatmika buddhi, only possible in unalloyed devotional service. Akaitava Bhakti. Kaitava Bhakti means cheating religion. Kaitava Bhakti means I do bhakti for sake of some goals. I have some goal to achieve. Money, this, fame, name, all those things. Kaitava Bhakti. Akaitava Bhakti means without any unalloyed devotion. There is no goal only. Only goal is Mama Guru Upadeshtam, Bhagavad Kirtana Smarana Paricharana Paricharanaadikam. This only I want to execute. I want to Yatadeva Mam Karyam. This is only my activity. So this is in that bhakti only possible. So when he read these statements, so that's what Prabhupada was very much inspired and enlivened and determined. So he become fixed up in executing the orders of spiritual master.
It's very heavy,
So
Prabhu. Very heavy, really.
that's how very Vishnu Chakradhar's commentary insight into Vyavasayatmika buddhi means what. So that's amazing determination. What a determination! What an understanding of spiritual master and bhakti and all. It's quite. When I read also, it was really shaking. How so? When we read every day, recite this Mangalacharan, Mangalarati. That's what he wrote. I mean, there also he reflects that point of Sakshadaritvena, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Padat. Both. He is not different from the Lord, and whatever he tells, that is only my everything. Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasadat, Yasya Prasadat Nagati Kutopi. So Vishnu Chakradhar has such an amazing conviction and understanding about bhakti, about devotion, about service. So that's how Prabhupada was inspired, and that's how we should also inculcate some points in that line. How to first of all trying to know what are my spiritual master instructions or Prabhupada's both. At least for myself, I try to read the 7 purposes of ISKCON because Prabhupada's they are like ISKCON's purposes means his purposes. They are main guiding lines, overall arcing things that I should can try to read at least on Ekadashi. And instruction of spiritual master nowadays, spiritual masters definitely have some expectations from disciples, and they are available also for every spiritual master. You take any name also, they have their own specific recommendations to disciples, what disciples should focus on. So we need to, and also we read in Namaparad, third offenses to the holy name, to disobey the orders of spiritual master. So that's we need to try to work on understanding the instructions of spiritual master, then try to speak them. Japayanta means chanting them, and trying to dhyayanta, meditating on them. Pujayanta means worshipping and trying to execute them with great control. So this only will take us to the ultimate perfection. Just like we see His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, how he was so fixed up in executing the order of Prabhupada, just print books and distribute books. How amazing personality. Just by remembering him, we are purified, and how amazing his realizations and advancement. So fixed up in service, so fixed up is in sadhana and seva and all those things. And that's how one becomes advanced. All the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, there's such amazing examples to focused on executing the orders of spiritual master. Of course, nowadays of course, some maybe only few spiritual masters may be a little rare to approach, but otherwise many are very, very accessible, and we can talk and we can ask and request, etc. But we need to take as a disciple, we need to take certain things to heart and see, understand the mood, and take up some things to work upon. then we can really, really advance in spiritual life. So that's why this is one of the main words that we very much focused on. Prabhupada writes very, very deeply and very, very, very in detail about what a disciple should be, up to the point. Very, very insights is giving. Unhesitatingly think how we should think as a disciple should think unhesitatingly think about the instructions and or the orders of spiritual master, should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. So many things will come. He's saying that the disturbance will not happen, he's not saying. Disturbances will come. That is the nature of the material world. So in spite of that, how one should carry on the instructions. So only by reading about Prabhupada also, though we are reading by Prabhupada all the purports, when we read about Prabhupada by some Lilamrit, etc., we come to know how he was not disturbed by anything else apart from his executing spiritual master instructions. So this is all very, very, that's what we also seeing in Guru Puja, in Guru Vandana also. Lokinath Lokera Jivan. Nartam Das Thakur also saying that his Jivana, his life is Lokinath Lokera Jivan. Lokinath Lokera means his spiritual master is his life and soul. When we say spiritual master is life and soul, means whatever he speaks, whatever he is giving orders are his life and soul. That's like fish, life and soul is water. Right, no? A fish cannot live without water at all. So similarly, that's how a disciple feels another life. Also, my life and soul is my spiritual master instructions. Executing the instructions of spiritual master, following him. So that's how one advances. As Prabhupada's beautiful purport on this aspect of how Prachetas took up the instructions of Lord Shiva, and in fact, their father's instruction also they took up very seriously, and because of that, they could meet Lord Shiva. That's the connection now here coming up. Vidura was asking question now, and why they met, how they met Lord Shiva. Let us read. Vidura uvacha prachetasam giritreena yatasit pati sangamaha yad utaha harah pritas tanno brahman padardhavat.
Vidura asked Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas meet Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly, such talks are important, and I wish that you please be merciful upon me and describe them.
So Vidura became very anxious. How that great personality met these personalities? Lord Shiva, how it happened? So please explain to me. So Prabhupada brought out amazing insight, that eagerness to hear and ask, inquire, understand. That point Prabhupada focuses on. So, Yathavataha Pritas Tanno Brahman. Yeah, Prabhupada, though there is no direct word in the sense of very great eagerness and that kind of anxiousness is mentioned in the verse, but Prabhupada could see the behind the lines and trying to bring out the point. Yeah, that curious, the eagerness to hear. Please read.
Whenever there is some important talks between a devotee and the Lord, or between exalted devotees, one should be very much curious to hear them.
Hear them, understand them, try to analyze. So that's Prabhupada quotes few more examples. How Sota Goswami was inquired by Naimisharanya sages. And there also, Sutta Goswami was also asked about the Parishad Maharaj Sukadeva Goswami by Naimisharanya sages. So that's the one point. Eagerness to hear and inquire, understand. Why the meeting is so astonishing. So that is why it's given so much importance by Vidura. He's explaining now why it is important to understand. So he says the point, explanation he gives. Why he is so eager? Sangamah kalu viprarshe shive neha shariranam durlabo munayo dadyur asangad yam abhipsitam.
Oh, best of the
Brahmanas.
Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities engaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sage who have no material attachment to do not contact him, despite their always being absorbed in meditation to attain his personal contact.
Continue.
Since Lord Shiva does not incarnate himself unless there is some special reason, it is very difficult for an ordinary person to contact him. However, Lord Shiva does descend to a special occasion when he is ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Mm. So just like for Dhruva Maharaj, Narada Muni came, how seeing the Dhruva Maharaj determination and trying to going ahead in spiritual life, he also seeing the determination of Prachetas, how Lord Shiva personally came and instructing them. So that's how, of course, further we'll see that aspect of the desire, how we need to have intense desire, how Krishna helps. So here Prabhupada mentioning that point, Krishna helps by sending personalities like Lord Shiva here. And by the order of the Lord, Lord Shiva does many, many activities. Then Prabhupada quoting example of how he became a Shankaracharya on the order of the Lord. He took up for saving people from Buddhist Shunyavad. So here also Lord Shiva took up the role of a teacher or a spiritual master for Prachetas and he instructed them. Prabhupada elaborately explains about Mayavad, how Lord Shiva by the order of Lord Vishnu came. Today is also Shivaratri. How we can remember Lord Shiva's great, how he's so subordinate and how he's executing the orders of the Lord with great reverence and devotion and dedication. Though it appears to be sometimes he may be misunderstood by many people. Shankaracharya will be, or his personality, whole personality also sometimes misunderstood by many. All kinds of people, all kinds of personalities. So, but still, Lord Shiva underwent all these activities just to please the Lord, just to please the Lord. So, so he explained about Buddhist philosophy, how it was spreading, and how Lord requested Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva came as a Shankaracharya. And both philosophies Prabhupada explaining here, and we should take up only philosophy. And he says that Shankaracharya finally saying Bhaja Govindam, Vajagovindam Modamate. I think maybe in the next verse, I think he says that one. So finally, he also was personality, concluding that Lord Vishnu is the final supreme. So that's what he is establishing here, the glory of Lord Shiva. Atma Ramopi yas tvasya लोककल्पस्य राधसे शक्त्या युक्तो विचरति तया भगवान् भवः.
Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, is self-sufficient. Although he has nothing to aspire for the material world, for the benefit of those in the material world, he is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like Goddess Kali and Goddess Durga.
Mhm. So Lord Shiva's personality is explained here. Explaining by Vidura is glorifying. She asked, now, how are this great personality? He is such a great personality. He follows the orders of the Lord and he is beyond this material. He cannot be approached by any persons, neither who is engaged nor who is detached. He cannot be approached by anyone. And he is such a great personality. He is always going around with his unlimited powers. Shaktya yukto vicharati. Atmarama. He is just self-satisfied. So, but how come they could have the meeting? So that kind of a presentation is coming here. So though he is a great personality, how it happened. Then Prabhupada explains more about Lord Shiva and his Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and his glorification of Vaishnavana Yatha Shambhu, how he's great devotee of the Lord. So best of the Vaishnavas, and he's meditating on the Shankarshana, his deity. And he started Rudra Sampradaya from his, and Prabhupada explains about his position as one of the 12 Mahajans, Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Shambhu is the Lord Shiva. The Mahajan is the Sampradaya, he has Rudra Sampradaya, currently known as Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. So, four Sampradayas Prabhupada explains, and he reports how he came as a. Even though Lord Shiva appeared in the form of Shankaracharya to preach Mayavad philosophy, at the end of his pastimes, Shankaracharya preached Bhajagobindam, Bhajagobindam, Bhajagobindam Modamate. So, he mentioned how only possible mukti is possible only by Krishna's special mercy. That is the last instruction of Shankaracharya. So then he explains about how Shaktya Ghoraya, he accompanied by all Shaktis, different energies. Lord Shiva always goes around with different energies, Mother Kali and Durga. Kali or Durga is a great empowerment personalities. So Prabhupada explains the pictures, different pictures we see that Lord Shiva, Mother Durga fighting with so many choppers and skulls, etc., etc. So to show that how they have Shakti, great Shakti, Mother Kali, and they have the great powers. That Prabhupada explains here. Shrishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha, Sadhana Shakti Rekha. So this Mother Durga is glorified in Brahma Samhita. So that's worships of. So he also gives the contrast between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu's worship. So please read these lines. Since Lord Shiva.
Yeah. Worship of Shiva and Vishnu. Since Lord Shiva controls the great material energy goddess Durga, worshippers of Lord Shiva attain very opulent positions and within this material world. Under Lord Shiva's direction, a worshipper of Lord Shiva gets all kinds of material facilities. In contrast, a Vaishnavas or worshipper of Lord Vishnu gradually becomes poorer in material possession because Lord Vishnu does not trick his devotees into becoming materially entangled by possessions.
Though even though many times Prabhupada mentions that Lord Shiva gives Ashutosh, whoever wants whatever they want. Yeah, that is true. And if a sincere seeker is there, then Lord Shiva directly gives the special mercy by giving devotional service to those who are very much eager for that. We see Narsim Mehta in Gujarat. We see the pastime of Sanatana Goswami and the Brahmana who was sent by Lord Shiva himself. Actually, Lord Shiva and Sanatana Goswami has a great intimate relationship. Then also Chakleshwar Mahadev, we see that Chakleshwar Mahadev, he was performing his bhajan in Chakleshwar Mahadev. And he thought of, there are so many mosquitoes are there, I will leave tomorrow. And Sanatana Swami thought like that, then Lord Shiva came and requested, my dear Sanatana Swami, please stay here. Tomorrow you see, if tomorrow you find, then you can leave. So another Brahmana also was sent by Lord Shiva only. When that Brahmana came and asked Sanatana Swami, Lord Shiva told that you have some paras money. Could you please give me the paras money? Then Sanatana Goswami said, yes. Do you see the dustbin there? In that is there. You can take it. And the Brahmana took that Chintamani and was going. Then he thought, Arey, why Sanatana Goswami kept this Chintamani in dustbin? Or in a place which is neglected? I think he must have something more. So then he again went back and he asked and he begged, what I want something great from you. That's so Lord Shiva tricked this Brahmana to go to him to gain the highest perfection. And directly also Narsimha Mehta is very, very ardent devotee of Lord Shiva in Gujarat. So when Lord Shiva appeared to him, he asked, what do you want? So my dear Lord, I want what you cherish in your heart. Really? Then Lord Shiva gave the Krishna mantra to Narsimha Mehta. So from that time onwards, Narsimha Mehta became great devotee of Lord Krishna, chanting his names. Like that, many personalities who were initially Lord Shiva's great devotees who were not at all aspiring for anything material, they were directed by Lord Shiva to Supreme Lord, Vishnu and Krishna. So the position of that is the position of Lord Shiva. Thus Lord Vishnu gives intelligence to his devotee so that the devotee can make progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. Since a devotee has nothing to do with any kind of material position, he does not come under the control of Goddess Kali or Goddess Durga. So devotees are little more focused on not asking anything material, even from Lord Shiva also. So we also pray to Lord Shiva on this day to bestow special mercy on how to serve the Lord, meditate on the Lord, glorify the Lord, serve the Lord in various capacities. Lord Shiva is so compassionate. He is giving shelter to all, even hobgoblins and ghosts and all kinds of personalities. He gives shelter, though we cannot. But at least we can have that kind of little compassion on the other living entities by sharing our bhakti, sharing the holy name with others. The position of Lord Shiva Prabhupada explains how he is a mode of ignorance in charge, and in the Pralaya also we assist the Lord. Many pastimes we can learn from, we can read and learn from Srimad Bhagavatam of Lord Shiva. So that's how Maitreya glorified Lord Shiva's position. Vidura glorified position of Lord Shiva and asked the question, how could that personality could meet Prachetas? How he came to meet Prachetas? Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasah Piturvakyam Sirasadaya Sadavaha Disham Pratichim Prayayus Tapasyadrita Chetasaha.
The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachin Barhi very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul, and with these words on their heads, they went towards the west to execute their father's order.
So the moment he asked the question, how could the meeting happen? And the Maitreya started with these words that because there is no word because the word because of their past nature, all the sons took up their orders of the father. Pituravakyam Sirasadharayami means they are following on the top of their heads. The top of the head means they are surrendering, they are dedicating their life to execute that order. Highest, topmost priority. Head is the topmost position. On top of the head, if you keep means, that means topmost priority. And their life to execute the orders of spiritual master or father. Father is also spiritual master. So in that sense, they took up the order and then they went to perform tapasya. Tapasya, adrita chetasa, with great eagerness, with great intensity also, to execute their father's orders. Then Prabhupada focus on this aspect of who is a sadhu, sadhava, sirasadaya sadhavaha. Sirasadaya sadhavaha. Sadhu, who is sadhu? So that Prabhupada explains more details. In general understanding, payas are well behaved. Sadhava means. Then explains who is sadhu. A perfect sadhu is one who always engaged in the devotional service of Supreme Personality Godhead. A sadhu, generally we use sadhu in various ways. But it's not about varna, it's not about ashram, it's not about species, male, female, child, or young, old, or whatever varna and ashram. It doesn't decide who is sadhu. Sadhu is one who is always engaged in devotional service of Supreme Lord, always focused on service of the spiritual master. He is a sadhu. So they are called sadhava because they are complete obedience to their father. So what is the duty of father and what is the duty of son? Prabhupada beautifully explains here. So just like a king. So he explains the father, king and spiritual master. These three are supposed to be superiors. And they are like a spiritual masters. So their they have the duty. What is their duty? Their duty is to regulate their subordinates in such a way that they ultimately become fully annual devotees. Pitanasasya janani sasyat. So that famous verse, very, very, what is a heavy verse, responsibility of a superior. So they should see that they are delivered from this material world. That means they should become unalloyed devotees of the Lord. And what is the duty of the subordinate? It doesn't mean that they don't have any, the subordinates don't have any duty. They also have a duty. The duty of subordinates is to obey their orders perfectly, superior's order, in a disciplined way. So both have duties. Everybody has to perform their duties. So that's one of the main points Prabhupada brings out. That what are the duties of the superiors and what are the duties of subordinates. Duties of superiors is to see that they are following, they are regulated. I mean, they are trying to discipline the subordinates, regulate the subordinates, trying to instruct them, inspire them, educate them, teach them, demonstrate what they should supposed to learn. Not just teaching, not but demonstrate them. That's what means the acharya, acharati. And the subordinate has to take up that very, very sincerely and perfectly. So that's the meaning of sirasa on the heads. What does that mean? On their heads, which means they accepted them in complete surrender, complete obedience. Sirasa dharayam. Sirasa dharistham. Sirasa dharayam. So that's the meaning of that's the verse. That's how Maitreya starts this conversation of how the conversation started. How could it happen? Such a great personality of Lord Shiva, such a stature, and but he came to meet these personalities. How it happened? Yeah, it happened because they took up their father's orders so seriously, and they were going to execute their father's orders. This is one of the hint that he is giving Maitreya. He didn't directly mention this is because of this, but he's just explaining this aspect. What it means, that's my understanding. That because they took up the orders of their father very, very seriously, just like Dhruva Maharaj took up the order or a request of mother to very, very seriously to find out Vishnu, because that desire, intense desire, Krishna sent Narada Muni. Here also, Lord requested Lord Shiva to go ahead. So now, where they met, that is described here. Sa samudram upavistirnam apashyan sumahat mahan mana iva swacham prasanna shalilashayam. So while going ahead to execute the orders of their father, that is description is coming here. So while going, what happened? Please read.
While traveling, the Prachetas happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as the ocean. The water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seemed like the mind of a great soul, and its inhabitants, the aquatics, appeared very peaceful and happy to be under the protection of such a watery reservoir.
So the main cause is explained how they are determined to execute the order of his, their father Pitruvakyam Sirasadhara. So they took up an order, but while going, they saw that near the ocean, almost near ocean, they saw another big body of water. So a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as ocean, but it's near the ocean. Sa samudram upa. So that's the Prabhupada explains little more details. Where and was the what was the body of water and where it was. So it was near sea. So there they could see some big body of water. And what was the description of the water and how it was? It is compared to Mahan Mana Iva Swacham. The big body of water is like a Mahamana. It's like a mind of a great soul. It's very clean. Prasanna Shalila Ashayam. It's very calm and clean and cool and peaceful, gentle. So it's like a great soul's mind that is compared to. So now description is more about that pond. So from which Lord Shiva comes out. So that is the meaning. That is coming out. But now the camera is focused on the pond. So, so the water of the lake is explained here. The qualities of the water of the lake is compared to the mind of the great soul. Then Prabhupada focused on this aspect of after explaining about where was that water, what was that water, a near ocean. It's a big lake is there, and it's like a cool and calm and quiet. So then Prabhupada explains about the nature of the great personality and the pond. So very, very beautiful insight points. Please go through. Why it is compared like to a great soul's mind. Just like the water was very calm and quiet. Similarly, a devotee's mind or great soul's mind is always calm and quiet because he is always unablished as shunya. Prabhupada quotes that Chaitanya Charitamrita verse that Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shanta. Last point he goes last somewhere. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Teva Shanta. So that's why his mind and great soul's mind, anyone's mind can be happy and satisfied and peaceful and calm only when is Anyabhilasha Shunyam, not desiring anything else. So we are discussing about desire, intense desire. So the desire is only to serve the Lord, not desire for anything material. Then only one will be peaceful and calm. So because the disciples of a devotee have taken shelter of a great soul, they become very calm and quiet and are not agitated by the waves of material world. So a disciple takes shelter of the spiritual master's instructions seriously. And his only desire is that Etadeva mama kamyam, Etadeva mama karyam. So that's why he is not disturbed by any other thing. Those who are fixed up in service of Lord are not agitated by anything else. Ekeva Purnandana. Prabhupada again quotes here. So there Dukkena Gurunapi Vichalyate. Tatra Sukam Vastu Dukkam Vastu. No problem. Yasmin Sthito Na Dukkena Gurunapi Vichalyate. Even though great difficulty also will not disturb one. Gurunapi Vichalyate. So whatever difficulty, how much big the difficulty may come, he is not disturbed by that. Please read why he is not disturbed. Please read.
The root cause of agitation, desires. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 19.149, it is stated, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Shanta. A devotee of Lord Krishna is always peaceful because he has no desire, whereas the yogis, karmis, and jnanis have so many desires to fulfill. One may argue that the devotees have desires for they wish to go home back to Godhead, but such a desire does not agitate the mind. Although he wishes to go back to Godhead, a devotee is satisfied in any condition of life. Consequently, the word Mahan Manaha is used in this verse to indicate that the reservoir of water was as calm and quiet as the mind of a great devotee.
So basically we need to focus on the same point of following spiritual master order instructions. Then one will not be agitated, and one's mind is peaceful and calm and quiet. So that lake is more and more glorified here with the various things. What are there in the lake, and what are the birds, and what was the flowers, etc., etc. Please read translations.
In that great lake, there were different types of lotus flowers. Some of them were bluish and some of them were red. Some of them grew at night, some in the day, and some like the Indivara lotus flower in the evening. Combined together, the lotus flowers filled the lake so full that the lake appeared to be a great mine of such flowers. Consequently, on the shores there were swans and cranes, चक्रवाक,
Chakravaka.
Karandava, and other beautiful water birds standing about.
So basically, the beautiful description of lake where they went, they were going to sea to perform tapasya. Before that, only they came across this beautiful lake, and the lake description is given here. The waters of the lake, now the flowers of the lake, and also because of the flowers, there are so many beautiful birds were also attracted here. That is described here. Then Prabhupada explains about the explanation of these beautiful birds and lotuses, Chakravaka. Beautiful understanding gives that how mode of good these modes attract different personalities. Because the lake is in mode of goodness, it is attracting mode of goodness birds, as like swans, cranes, etc. Because the lake has clear waters and lotus flowers, and the lake is not attracting crows and other birds which are only attracted towards mode of ignorance or passion. So Prabhupada brings out that point of contrast. So everything is divided into three modes. Everyone is attracted to that kind of nature, whatever they have. So the beauty of lake is described. Please continue.
There were various trees and creepers on all sides of the lake, and there were mad bumblebees humming all about them. The trees appeared to be very jolly due to the sweet humming of the bumblebees, and the saffron which was contained in the lotus flower was being thrown into the air. These are all created such an atmosphere that it appeared as though a festival were taking place there.
Everything appears very, very great. Festival atmosphere, the fragrance, the color, the beauty, the sounds, and everything. For nose, for ears, and for eyes, it's like festival. So that Prabhupada compares here that it appears that they are which is supposed to be situated near Himalayas mountain. They almost approached Shivaloka. It appeared like that. That's what Prabhupada mentioning here. Almost reached the place of Lord Shiva, Shivaloka near the Himalayan mountains. That's Prabhupada mentioning here. Continuous festival is happening. We'll pause it with this verse. The sons of king.
The sons of king became very much amazed when they heard vibration from various drums and kettle drums, along with other orderly musical sounds pleasing to the ear.
Please read last.
The place where Prachetas arrived was the abode of Lord Shiva. Impersonalists are generally worshippers of Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva is never without variety of his abode. Thus, wherever one goes, whatever to the planet of Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, or Lord Brahma, there is variety to be enjoyed by person full in knowledge and bliss.
Thus, wherever one goes, whether to the planet of Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, there is variety. So basically, Prabhupada's main point is that everywhere there is variety. Prabhupada, whenever opportunity comes, he always takes the aspect of to beat Mayavad. People think that everything is without any variety. See how much variety, beauty, festival, atmosphere is there everywhere. So that's what Prabhupada's main point. So now Prachetas will come to see Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is coming out of that lake, and then the discussion starts. So maybe we'll start next week. Lord Shiva is coming out, and then it's already 4 cross time. 4:40 is becoming. We'll pause here. We'll start with 24 next time. So
Prabhu,
from
will you have
that
class
lake.
next time?
So next
Next
Saturday
week
is
we'll have
what?
class
Next
also?
Saturday? Yeah, next
Yes,
Saturday is
Prabhu.
what?
There is there any festival? I don't think so. So we have class.
There is
Okay.
no any festival. There is no any
Yeah.
festival.
No festival, yeah.
Yeah,
21 is fine.
21,
So
22.
22 I may be
Yes.
traveling, so I may join partially. 21 I am there.
Sure. No problem. Yeah. Thank you. Kanra Srimad
Thank you very
Bhagavatam
much, Prabhu.
ki.
Thank you so
Srila
much.
Prabhupada. Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Thank you for the enlightening class.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
sir.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Circle
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Namo Namo. Vrinda Pati Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.